So Frank Gaffney, you helped create and lead a Team B effort regarding the CCP virus. Now, why do we call it the CCP virus?
It's been called that, I think, because the provenance of the virus that cost us, well, some 6 million people so far, including 1 million Americans, is very clearly from the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP. The study that we've done has sought to understand exactly how that virus was unleashed on the world by the Chinese Communist Party. And there's some disagreement, in part because we don't know all of the details of what the Chinese were up to, and they're withholding information that is really vital to making a definitive judgment. But what I think we've established beyond any dispute, Kevin, is that the virus, once it was out of the laboratory from which it seems to have emerged as a result of, among other things, gain of function research financed unbelievably by the American taxpayer. The Chinese Communist Party was directly responsible for ensuring that it was spread worldwide.
So they may not have, they may or may not have released it. They likely created it. They may or may not have released it, but they absolutely weaponized it once it was out. Is that correct?
Well, I'd qualify perhaps the first point. I think there's very little doubt that they created this virus. I think our conclusion is they did in this laboratory. They had help from the U.S. National Institute of Health, Dr. Tony Fauci's operation, and some contractors who worked for him. The question that remains is, did they intentionally bring it out of the laboratory as a biological warfare attack? And that's the part that I think we're still not able to make a definitive judgment about. But to your larger point, did they make, as a very deliberate matter of state policy, an effort to spread it once it had been released from the laboratory? And the answer to that, I think, is indisputably yes.
Unequivocally.
And the disaster that it has created worldwide is on them as a result, hence the CP virus.
Well, you're not just spouting this. This isn't something you read in the New York Times. You actually assembled a quality team of incredible professional experts. Can you tell us a little bit about the people in Team B?
Sure. It's led by two eminent national security practitioners, former Congressman Pete Hoekstra, who was the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee during his time in the House. He went on to become a U.S. ambassador to the Netherlands. His co-chairman is Lieutenant General William Jerry Boykin, a man I'm sure very well known to this audience, great friend of ours, former Deputy Undersecretary of Intelligence in the George W. Bush administration. But that was a role that capped a number of other positions in the intelligence business, as well as an unbelievably impressive record of service as arguably our nation's most decorated special operator. There were about 6 or 7 others who participated in it, in addition to your good self and me. We had Charles Sam Faddis, former undercover operative in the Central Intelligence Agency, former Colonel John Mills, United States Army retired, Jeff Nyquist, one of our most brilliant strategic thinkers, Brian Kennedy, the chairman of the Committee on the Present Danger China, Dr. Stephen Hatfill, particularly importantly, one of the country's preeminent experts, arguably one of the world's preeminent experts on the whole phenomenon of biological warfare. He has studied it closely. He's built defenses against it over the years, and he was really the lead the lead expert, I should say, on the science of what we've been confronting here, and I think was instrumental in helping us come up with the right answers for Team B3.
Yeah, well, it's fantastic.